Hello, it's Crafty Cara here again, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Northern Ireland, and I wanted to make an Easter card. So this is the first. I might make another one and put that up as well, but this is the first one I'm going to make, and I'm using the beautiful Daffodil Daydream Daffodil Daydream stamp set, and I used it for Mother's Day, but there's also the Easter blessings sentiment and these lovely daffodils and all sorts of other things. It comes with, or matches with, the daffodil dies, and these are gorgeous. These actually make daffodils and all sorts of petals and inner bits. They cut out the images, obviously that's what we usually use dies for. They've also got these lovely leaf dies. That one's not sticking down, let me just move it a bit. They've also got these lovely leaf dies, and they've got a little butterfly die, all sorts of dies in there. So I've been playing with those a little bit. For this card, I've also used the new Radiating Stitches dies. Now these are an online exclusive, and they cut out a shape with a beautiful stitched radiating stitches, obviously, edge. And you've also got, you've got 3 different sizes of rectangle. You've got a couple of circles and a heart as well. So they are really beautiful. These are available online as long as stocks last. So these are still available, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad I bought these. Anyway, what do you need for the card? Where are my bits? So you need, I'm going to use for the card base, I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and this is the usual card base, so it's 21 by 14.8, scored in the centre at 10.5, so that's our card base. I'm also using a Very Vanilla inner, so this is Very Vanilla, and this is 13.8 by 20, scored at 10 and also scored at 5. You'll see why in a minute, because we're putting the card together like this, folding that bit in. So you're folding that almost backwards. That's how the card is being formed. You also need a few scraps, obviously an envelope, and you need some scraps of Daffodil Delight and also crushed curry to die cut out your daffodils, and a scrap for the Easter blessings sentiment. So the DSP I'm using is this one. I'm not sure it's still available, but I have got loads of it. You could use any DSP that matches. You could have just a pattern DSP or whatever. I've used this, it's lovely. There's all sorts of different, as always, double-sided patterns in here. But the base for it is Very Vanilla, which is why I've chosen that. So I've used 2 pieces of DSP. So again, as I say, use whatever DSP you have. And these are, one is to fit the front. So this is going to be 10 across by 14.3 down. And one is to fit the inside flap. So that's actually, this is slightly too big. It needs cutting down a bit, but it would be 4.5 by 13.3. So those are the pieces you need. And I've already started putting the card together because you don't want to see me stamping and all of that. So now you're getting an idea how the card's going to look. So I already had stuck my DSP on the front, put my piece back so you can see. So my DSP was on the front, and I have also folded this, stuck it in. I've stuck my other DSP panel here, and I've stamped and coloured a daffodil for here. I haven't put a sentiment in yet because I haven't decided which one to use. I may not bother actually. So then I've used the smallest Radiating Stitches die to cut out a panel from the front here. Now often when you cut out panels you will use those panels for the inside piece. I'm not, so I've cut out a separate same size panel in Very Vanilla, and that's actually going to be sitting here. So that's how that will work. This piece I'm going to keep, I can use it for something else. So I am going to decorate this inner panel, and I wanted to show you these lovely bits that cut out from the dies. So I've just formed a daffodil like this. I want it to be fairly flat because, let's face it, we can't send very layered and deep cards through the post without paying ridiculous amounts of money. So I'm going to actually have my daffodil on here, and I'm going to use, I seem to have lost one of them. Where's my other leaf gone? I'm going to use 2 or 3 leaf bits to use to decorate it. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my daffodil on where I want it, which is, I am going to use a dimensional for this. So I'm going to stick this so it looks beautiful just near the top of the card. And you can see the detail, hopefully, ooh, pick it up, of the radiating stitches dies. If I hold it somewhere near, hopefully you can see that okay. Yeah. Then I'm going to stick these on. I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow, and I've cut 3. I've cut them out of Mossy Meadow and what else did I cut them out of? Old Olive. Trying to remember there. So I'm not going to bother too much with bits of glue down here. So if I can get some out of here, just part way down the stem, because obviously I'm not going to use that whole, well, I am going to use the whole stem, but not just yet. So those 3 bits I'm going to put up first. So I want my leaf coming something like that. I want another stem going something like that. I want to hide that because that's not actually the one I'm using in front of the, there we go. And I'm going to have my actual daffodil one coming across like that. So having stuck those on, you'll see this looks a bit odd at the moment, but that's because I'm going to cut these off just a little bit above where the card stops, because I don't want to hide all those radiating stitches too much. That one didn't cut quite where I wanted, so just cut that one again. There we go. So I'm cutting those level with here, and then I'm going to use these other pieces to add a few more leaves in. Not wasting anything here, folks. So again, just need to put a little bit of Tombow on the back of these. It's fairly easy to tell which are the back of things just from the die cut. You might not be able to see on the screen, but they are rougher, the bits that have come through the back of the die cut. And then I can just add a few more random leaves where I want them. Ooh, they're sticking together. Hang on. I'm getting very sticky now, folks. What a surprise. As you know, I always get very sticky and have, there we go. So I just want them sort of randomly there just to fill in the base of here. Then I'm going to cut these all off level with where I was cutting before. And there, with bits flying everywhere around my desk, there's my piece for the card. So, having put the card together like this, obviously the important thing is to stick this onto the back panel so that it shows through. And there's a really nice way to do this. So the first thing to do is I need to make sure that I'm only putting glue on the side that's going to stick, obviously, which is this side, having turned it upside down. So I'm going to put some glue on there, being sure not to come across halfway. And then to get it exactly where I want it, I'm actually going to close the card and then get my panel with my third hand and fit it into the aperture, because it's the same die that I've used to cut out both things. So then I can stick that down. So that's now stuck to my card and it shows perfectly through the aperture. So that is my Easter card. I just have to stick my blessings and a couple more bits on. So I have my Easter blessings. I've stamped this from the set and I've just used the radiating rectangle, these, what is it called? Radiating stitches die, and I've just put the end of it through the die so that, I'll show you how I do that, just so in case you're a bit puzzled. So all I did was I put the die across the end of my card like that and cut it out, and then I did the other end like that. So that's how I got the radiating stitches onto my die, from my die onto my bit of card. And I am going to put dimensionals on there. I think I do like dimensionals. Well, you can see on the back where I didn't stamp very well, the ink was not wet enough, so I had to re-ink and stamp it again on the other side, because we always have an extra side, an emergency side. So that, I think, not in the centre, hang on. I haven't measured that exactly. It's not quite the same length, so I need to overlap it slightly. There we go. So you can see how just the decoration just matches the bit of the card. And then I couldn't resist these. This is the tiny butterfly die from the set, and I've just cut them out in some of our champagne foil. And I'm just going to decorate my card with those as well. So I'm going to have one on the front, just up here. And the other one I'm planning to put inside. So just glue that again. Now the big question is, should I have it on here or should I have it inside the difficult one. I think I might have it here. So we'll stick it on there so it matches the one on the front. There we go. Yes. So that is my fun fold Easter card. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have a go at it. I'm going to be making a few little Easter cards to decide which ones I like best, but that one I hope you've really enjoyed. And of course, never forget to decorate your envelope as well. So please do subscribe if you've liked my video. Plenty more videos for you to see. And if you'd like to sign up for my email list on my website, craftycarolscards.co.uk, then you will get all my news and know when I'm actually doing these videos, putting things out, having classes, etc. Because I do run live online classes too. Thanks for joining me today and bye for now.